Alright, I got my hairnet on because I'm cooking for other people and I don't want my long hair dropping in the food. What I want to show you is how I make banana bread. This banana bread is awesome because I discovered last night a way to make it so good. Alright, so when you see the bananas are almost past their prime, but don't let them go all the way dark, and you can use fresh bananas. They can be just a little bit ripe, that's fine. The recipe calls for 2 to 3, but you see a couple of these are really small. Are you watching me? Yeah, there we go. So I'm just going to peel them and then mash them. I think that's where the flavor of the banana bread, I never thought banana bread was the greatest recipe. It was just a way to use up old bananas rather than throw them away. My mom used to take bananas, I think she still does, and when they get like that she throws them in the freezer. In the freezer she's hoping that someday she'll pull them out and make some banana bread. That's fine. I never cared for banana bread until I tried it with a banana that isn't so ripe, and that was just last night. So now I'm making my parents some banana bread with bananas that aren't overripe. That's what I'm trying to say. You start with bananas that you would eat rather than using bananas that have gotten so old that you would never eat them. You just use them up in a recipe. Well, if they wouldn't taste good enough for you to just eat them, why would they taste good enough for you to use in a recipe? So you can use bananas that aren't overripe. Okay, you can use a fork to mash these up, and you don't have to mash them to their parade, but I like my little potato masher. Now I got a different kind of potato masher, but it was too cutesy. Look at that thing. And it doesn't mash potatoes so that you get nice smooth mashed potatoes. See, it breaks them into chunks. So this is why Alton Brown would be very disgusted with this little gizmo, because it doesn't do as good a job as the traditional old masher. So we're going to mash. Get out of the shadow. I've got the oven preheating to 350. I melted 1/3 cup of butter, real butter, and in it goes doesn't look that good now, but it smells really good. Really good banana smell to it. Okay, got that done. We're going to need an egg beaten, a pinch of salt. We'll need a fork to beat that egg. We'll need a teaspoon of vanilla. Get good vanilla. It really matters with every dish you use it in. See that stuff? You got that at Zingerman's. Good stuff. Makes a huge difference in every dish you make. Need a teaspoon of baking powder, and that is good for now. Mix that egg in. Next thing we're going to add is sugar. It calls for 1/2 cup to a cup based on what you like. I like sweet, so that is almost a cup. It's a little shy of that. Sugary and delicious. Now, 1.5 cups of all-purpose flour. You can do this in the mixer if you want, but it's not necessary if you know how to stir things and get them all mixed. I was too lazy to get out the mixer. I knew it would fit in this bowl. I didn't need the mixer. love to cook. You know what I found out about my YouTube channel? Part of it is recipes, because I love to cook. Sometimes when I'm out camping, I cook while I'm out camping, so that makes a nice cooking video. But the two don't overlap that well, so I have 3,200 subscribers. Some of them are there for the cooking, some of them subscribe for the camping, and YouTube has an algorithm that's smart enough to figure out, if you've watched my videos in the past, it might be that you're watching because of camping or because of cooking or because of both. They know that kind of stuff, and so they'll present you with a cooking video from Doug if you've already enjoyed a cooking video from Doug. They got it all sorted out, so I don't have to have a cooking channel and a camping channel, because for me they do overlap sometimes. Anyway, and I love to cook. It's like a sport to me. This is about 3/4 of a cup of walnut pieces. You don't have to put that in, but I love walnuts, so it works for me. And since I'm the cook, we're going to do what I like. You fold this in, mix it all up nice. Oh yeah. So we have all our ingredients. We've mixed it up right. The next step is to grease this pan. In goes the batter. Hey batter, hey batter. Into a 4-inch by 8-inch loaf pan. If you got something else, you could probably use it. Just be careful when you're cooking it that you don't overcook it. The way to tell if it's done is if you smell it. Smelling up the house with delicious banana bread smell. Then it's time to check it. I like to push the banana bread batter, which is thick, towards the edges, because as it cooks, it will tend to balloon up in the middle. It'll still do that, but I don't want a raw spot right in the middle while the other stuff is already cooked and ready. So that's why I spread the batter out, and now it goes in the oven. 350 degrees for 40 minutes. That to me looks good. It might not come out clean. Oh, it's almost. There's a clumpy spot there. But what I'm thinking is these edges are really starting to brown too much. There's a fix for that. Let me show you what it is. Stop the cooking. You can do this with a pie crust too. If the pie isn't baked yet and the crust is getting overdone, shield it with foil. And that solves the problem. It insulates where you don't want it to cook anymore. And it lets the part that you do want to cook continue cooking. That's our plan. Almost clean. I'm going to go with that because these edges are just getting a little too done for me, and there's thermal inertia that's still cooking the cake, the banana bread. So that is it. And oh, it smells so wonderful. So here's a slice of this delicious. So what is going on is the batter surrounding these walnuts softens the walnuts a little. And it is just got such good flavor and texture. I'm telling you. The reason why it's so good is I'm not using really old bananas that would be thrown in the garbage unless you put them in banana bread. So use fresher bananas. It makes the whole dish taste so much better.